I was wondering if one of the proponents of the bill could clarify some of the information in Section 6, which has to do with the parking process.
Representative Cavils DeGraw.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will take them when she's ready. Through you.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And through you, could the proponent of the bill help me just clarify this, that I understand that potential developers looking to create more than 24 units are required to submit a parking plan. But does this mean that a developer who comes in and wants to do, say, 20 units never has to put any parking in at all? Through you.
Representative Cavils DeGraw.
Through you, Mr. Speaker. No, that's not accurate.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the proponent clarify that a bit more, just to make sure, because I do have concerns that people would use this as a loophole and potentially try to put a unit, a building that doesn't meet those requirements in an area that could be a safety concern, cause traffic problems, something that would have a negative impact on our municipalities. Through you.
Representative Cavils DeGraw.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the representative is correct. If there were adverse impact on public health or safety, that's obviously one reason they would need to have parking. Other reasons are there's, even though it's 1 to 24 units, there's no other usable parking nearby. There's lots of reasons why they would need to have parking in that specific. It's just not that an automatic requirement. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And through you, and I hope I'm not belaboring the point, but just want to clarify that if a developer wants to put in something that is under 24 units, but there isn't a parking plan, but it would have a negative impact on the municipality, the local planning and zoning board or commission could require that project to have parking, correct? Through you.
Representative Cavils DeGraw.
They cannot outright mandate it, through you, Mr. Speaker, but obviously there would be conversations about that to ensure that there was adequate parking in the nearby area.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So my understanding is that the local planning and zoning board or commission would still be directly involved in the process in ensuring a safety concerns and traffic and whatever the process might be. The local planning and zoning boards would still be involved in the process. Through you.
Representative Cavils DeGraw.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, yes. Things like fire, things like safety, things like traffic congestion, yes. In those cases, they can still have those conversations as a local planning and zoning commission.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next question I have is on section, I believe it is 9 or 10. This is the fair share section.
Representative Felipe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the representative could repeat the question.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I actually hadn't said it, so this is good. I just want to clarify things that we touched upon earlier, just to make sure that I did have a solid understanding of this. That the Connecticut Fair Share Housing Study that was released earlier this month, when we are looking at their report and the alternative approach A column, that is a number based off of a formula that was used to apply to the whole state, correct? Through you.
Representative Felipe.
That is correct. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And that was part of a 20-year plan, correct?
Representative Felipe.
That is correct. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And through you, am I correct in my understanding that this part of the process is really the only real requirement for each municipality is that they come up with a plan based on the understanding of what is the best fit for their town, what they may have had as plans already in process, looking at what the state may have allocated as usable, developable land, but clarifying whether or not that is farmland or wetlands, or something that would not be appropriate for developing. Through you.
Representative Felipe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is correct, and it only needs to be 25% of the said number. Through you.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's even better. And in that plan, would it be possible, and are the municipalities able to suggest a number of units that they feel is a reasonable amount to develop within the said timeline? Through you.
Representative Felipe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In a way, yes, because you can come up with your reasons as to why you cannot build as much. You can send that plan in to be approved or rejected by OPM. Through you.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for that answer. I do appreciate that because I think it's really important to take into account the individual characteristics of each municipality and what the local leaders elected are able to provide information on to the state. The last question I have is on the section regarding legal fees. Mr. Speaker, through you.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was wondering if the good chair of Judiciary would be able to share a little bit more information about the potential for a municipality to recoup legal fees from a developer who was acting in bad faith. Through you.
Representative Stafstrom.
Through you, Mr. Speaker. While there's not specific language in here, certainly a judge in any case retains an ability to impose sanctions, financial or otherwise, in a situation in which someone may be abusing process of our courts. Through you.
Representative Welander.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that it isn't just a carte blanche allowing developers to do whatever they would want to. Thank you so much. I don't have any other questions for any of the proponents of the bill. I'm still going to be listening to the rest of the debate, but I do understand how important this is and many other aspects of this legislation, specifically looking at the municipal supports. I know that in my 4 towns, the trash and recycling programs and the cost of that is increasing exponentially every year and is then pulling funds away from other programs within our towns. So I appreciate the support, both planning and infrastructure-wise, as well as the financial support that will be offered to our municipalities and regional COGs. And I also do appreciate the concessions that were made by all of the proponents on both sides of the aisle to make this a much more reasonable and hopefully successful bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.